Welcome to Copilot Podcasts. Picture this, a young musician shaking on his kitchen floor from a drug overdose, praying for his life. Today, that same person has sold over 18 million albums and won 45 Dove Awards. Today, we're diving into the remarkable journey of Michael W. Smith, his battle with addiction, his spiritual transformation, and how he's reshaping worship music even now in 2025.
You know, it's really a story of transformation that began in Canova, West Virginia. Michael started playing piano at just 5 years old, writing songs by 10.
That early, huh? Was he always connected to faith and music?
Actually, yes. He had what he called an intense spiritual experience at age 10 that made him deeply devoted to Christianity. He was even wearing a big cross around his neck, totally committed to his faith.
But something changed, right?
When his older Christian friends went off to college, he started feeling really lonely and alienated. That's when things began to spiral.
Take us through what happened next.
Well, he moved to Nashville in 1978 to pursue music, started playing in local bands, working as a landscaper to support himself. But that's when he got pulled into the drug scene.
How did he describe that period of his life?
In his own words, he said he was deceived. Started with smoking that first joint, then moved on to cocaine and LSD. He said it was like his moral compass just disappeared.
That's heavy.
Yeah. And you know what's interesting? During this whole time, his parents never gave up on him.
Really? How did they handle it?
They never condemned him, never even raised their voices. Instead, they met him with kindness and love, praying for him every single night.
That must have had a huge impact on him.
Absolutely. He actually credits those prayers for saving his life. But it took hitting rock bottom before everything changed.
What was that moment?
November 1979. He had a near-fatal overdose in his East Nashville apartment, found himself shaking on his kitchen floor.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and that's where he had this profound spiritual experience. He says the God of the universe came and wept with him on that floor.
That's incredible. What happened after that?
Within a year, he landed a job as a songwriter, then got his own record deal, and from there, his career just exploded.
And what a career it's been. 3 Grammys, 45 Dove Awards.
And his biggest mainstream hit came in 1991 with Place in This World, reaching number 6 on the Billboard Hot 100.
You know, I'm curious about his evolution as an artist. How has his music changed over the years?
It's fascinating, actually. He's moved between pop, rock, worship music, even cinematic instrumentals, never stuck to just one genre.
And he's still creating new music today, right?
Oh yeah, just released new singles in 2025, Arms Around the Sun and Your Love is a Flood. He's in this whole new creative season.
Tell me about these new songs.
He says they just fell out of the sky. No grand scheme. He's been in what he calls pop mode lately, getting these constant downloads of songs.
That's amazing for someone who's been in the industry for over 40 years.
And get this, he's even experimenting with new production techniques. His latest work includes these massive orchestrations, almost cinematic finales.
Sounds like he's not resting on his laurels.
Not at all. But what's really interesting is how he's using his experience to help others now.
How so?
He's become this mentor figure to younger artists, helping them navigate success and maintain their spiritual foundation.
That's really coming full circle, isn't it?
Exactly. He says he'd be content just mentoring for the rest of his life if that's what God called him to do.
What kind of advice does he give these young artists?
He focuses a lot on how to survive success, keep a family together, and maintain spiritual authenticity in the industry.
Speaking of spiritual authenticity, I understand he's been talking about a possible spiritual awakening?
Yes, he's been seeing signs of it globally. He points to stirrings in America, especially on college campuses, and what he's witnessing in Europe and Africa.
That must be particularly meaningful given his own spiritual journey.
Absolutely. He says it's something Christians have been praying for over decades, and he believes he'll see it in his lifetime.
You mentioned his new music earlier. Tell me about Kingdom Come.
That's his latest release from September 2025. It's inspired by the Lord's Prayer, specifically, Your kingdom come, your will be done.
How would you describe the sound?
It blends his signature piano-driven style with contemporary production, really bridges the gap between reverence and modern worship.
It's fascinating how he keeps evolving while staying true to his core message.
That's what makes him unique. He's never been afraid to experiment with different musical styles, but his focus on authentic worship hasn't changed.
Looking back at his journey, what stands out most to you?
You know, I think it's the power of transformation. from that desperate moment on his kitchen floor to becoming one of Christian music's most influential voices.
And he's still transforming, isn't he?
Exactly. He talks about still having dry spells where he thinks it's over, but then the songs come back. It's this constant journey of renewal.
What does he say about his success now?
He's very humble about it. Says he never could have orchestrated any of it, that God is faithful.
Has his view on identity changed over the years?
He's really clear about that. Says his greatest peace comes from knowing who he is, not as a rock star, but as a son of God.
That's powerful.
Yeah, he often says all the record sales and accolades dissipate, but that identity, that's what lasts.
As we wrap up, what do you think is Michael W. Smith's legacy?
I think it's this beautiful demonstration that it's never too late for transformation, that your darkest moment can become your testimony.
And he's still writing new chapters of that story.
Absolutely. At 67, he's still creating, still mentoring, still believing for revival.
Well, that brings us to the end of today's episode of Copilot Podcasts. From rock bottom to rock star, from addiction to mentor, Michael W. Smith's journey reminds us that our past doesn't define our future.
And sometimes it's in our darkest moments on the kitchen floor that we find our true calling.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Remember, it's never too late for a new beginning.